as you can see, I have a couple helpers here with my books today. So my TBR for January was Personality Isn't Permanent. Attached. My January TBR to be read was these 8 books. Did I read them? No, I read 4 of them, but then I also read these 5. So I actually read 9 books in January. I read Daisy Jones and the Six by Tara Jenkins Reid. I read When Sorry Isn't Enough by Gary Chapman. He's the guy that does the 5 love languages books. The 3 Alarms. This is a great book. Short, easy. The 3 Alarms, a simple system to transform your health, wealth, and relationships forever. Highly recommend that. I read Spare. Yes, I read Spare. I wouldn't recommend it. I did do a review on it. Not my favorite book by far. I also read If You're in My Office, It's Already Too Late, A Divorce Lawyer's Guide to Staying Together. This is a fantastic book. I am married, I'm not getting divorced, but I love books on relationship, and this was funny, it was insightful, it was an easy read because there's so many stories involved, and it would help your stable relationship stay stable. It would help a relationship that needed help. It would help boost it. I highly recommend that book. For fiction, I read Good Girl, Bad Blood, which is the 2nd book. There's 3 of them. It was good. I liked it. Really good. I wouldn't say it's as good as the first one. The second one, sometimes not, but I did enjoy it. The Final Gambit. This is the 3rd one in the trilogy. I waited too long between the first 2 books, and it was kind of confusing. There are so many people involved. Sort of like The Glass Onion or Knives Out. It was a whodunit. And I wish I would have read all 3 of them closer together. But I did enjoy it, and it's a nice, easy read, YA. Chatter. I did a review about that one. The Voice in Your Head and Why It Matters. Your self-talk, so important. Highly recommend that. Look at that review that I did. And The Mountain Is You, Transforming Self-Sabotage into Self-Mastery. Again, a nice little short book, but all about, again, voice in your head, self-talk. So that is what I read in January. February TBR. What am I going to read in February? I still want to read these books, of course, but I do have some more books that I want to get to. Not sure. It's February 3rd today. I have already read Love, Pamela, about Pamela Anderson. Stay tuned. There will be we'll have a, come here. Leave him alone. I'll have a review on that one. Stay tuned. So I guess that's my February TBR, although I have already read it. And we have The 8 Rules of Love by Jay Shetty, brand new one. I love that one. Relationship book. How to find it, keep it, and let it go. Interesting? Okay. Shush. Building a Second Brain. I want to say Tiago Forte? I'm really interested in this because I read all these books, but I want to remember it. There's no point in reading it. If you don't remember it, I highlight, I underline, but then I have no system. So this is really interesting to me, Building a Second Brain. On the fiction side, everyone in my family has killed somebody. Just like the title. Interesting. I like to read fiction before I go to bed. I've already started this book. I'm really into memoirs lately. The Stories We Tell by Joanna Gaines. It's actually, so far, interesting. At nighttime, I've started this one, Pride, Prejudice, and Peril. It is kind of silly, but it's an easy read. It's not going to keep me awake. I'm not going to have bad dreams. It's nice. It's fluff. Bedtime. So you don't have to highlight and underline. It's just fluff for bedtime, like that. The 50th Law by 50 Cent and Robert Greene. I actually really like Robert Greene's books, The 48 Laws of Power, The Daily Laws. I love it. And he wrote this book with 50 Cent. So I think that's interesting. And it piqued my curiosity, so I am going to see if I can read that. How to Get Rich. One of the world's greatest entrepreneurs shares his secret by Felix Dennis. It was recommended on a video by somebody and they were successful, and I thought, well, why not? So this is a huge TBR, obviously. But let's see what I can get done, and these are going to go over from last month. February is a no-buy month for me, which means no buying books, which is probably good because I think I buy too many books. But I did order a few at the end of January, and they're still to come, so they could be on my February TBR as well. We'll see at the end of the month which books I get through. In February, they were all so good, except for really Spare. I didn't really know. I would normally not even have finished it, but I did, and it is what it is. But that's it. What are you reading? What are you going to be reading? How many books a month do you read? I'm trying to get over my digital addiction, my scrolling, and I'm turning to reading more often, setting a digital sunset at nighttime, meaning I turn off all the screens at nighttime because I find I could just scroll and it keeps me awake and then I'm not tired. Whereas if I read a book, especially a light, fluffy book, then it just triggers that I'm tired and I go to sleep much better, easier, and I stay asleep because I'm not messed with my circadian rhythm. But that's another, blue light, stop that at nighttime sort of thing. I love reading. I hope you love reading. And I will tell you at the end of February what books I have got through. Thanks for watching. Okay, get out of the way. As you can see, I have a couple helpers here with my books today. So my TBR for January was Personality Isn't Permanent. Attached. Get out of the way. Out. You're in the way, buddy. There you go. Oh, he's such a guy. Anyways, so that was on my TBR, my to be read for January. Now, did I read them all? I'm sorry if you're hearing a lot of noise. This is what's going on here. So if you hear noise in the background, it's just these two. That's what they do all day. Snoopy is mine, the golden doodle, and Yoshi is just visiting. And they just play all day long. Anyways, back to the video. Yoshi, stop. Stay tuned. There will be a. We'll have a. Come here. Come here. Leave him alone. I'll have a review on that one. Stay tuned. So I guess that's my February TBR, although I have already read it. Then we have The 8 Rules of Love by Jay Shetty. Just got this one. Hey, shush.